Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Saray, and in this video we are going to be going over my 2023 planner stack. So let's get to it. If you've been following me for a little while, this planner stack is probably not going to come at any surprise to you because my planner stack really hasn't changed much since probably September of 2022. So it's probably not going to be a shocking surprise. But I will go over what books I'm using because I get that question a lot, and really the purpose in terms of how I use every single book and how I try to maximize it so that it works better for me, and I don't duplicate a ton of information. Inevitably, when you're using this many books, of course, some of the things are going to be duplicative, but I'm trying to really make each book have its own purpose. First things first is going to be my weekly overview. I consider this sort of like my high-level core planner for the week, because this is the one that I use to kind of take a look at my week as a whole. So just kind of flipping through a few of the pages here, some of the previous spreads that I have worked on. Absolutely love these. It's so beautiful. I just love flipping through the pages. So here's an example of one of my favorite weeks, and with this whole orange October fall theme. So I absolutely love it. So basically how I use this one is to sort of set my high-level overview of my week, and I try to plan this out ahead of time. I typically will try to plan it out. It doesn't always work this way, but I'm trying to have a routine and a consistency in place. So I try to plan it out by the Friday before. Obviously, I don't know all of the information for the upcoming week, so every single day I do reference this and I update it, but it's a very quick update, so it doesn't really take that long. And my weekly setup by that time, it would be all set and ready to go. So it's kind of like a high-level overview. So things that I include here is any major events for the day, my workouts, anything that's happening in terms of appointments, for example, or my work schedule, all of that stuff. I did include like AM, PM routine, but I've actually transitioned this spread a little bit more of a structure within this book. So I'm going to show you. Here's an example of a spread of how I've transitioned it from being a little bit more hourly to a more structured spread, so I can plan ahead of time a little bit more. So basically I just break it down into sections. It is an hourly planner, but I've sort of turned it into a vertical planner. And the reason why I don't use a vertical is because I really like the lines within the hourly planner, but that's really the only difference here. But I essentially break it down into categories for the most part for this particular planner. So how I break it down is I put my workouts the same way. The top portion is for any content that I have scheduled for the week, or things that I need to work on, anything Saray Bailey or Saray Bailey Designs specific goes there. And then I put any sort of major events below, and it can vary from week to week a little bit, but for the most part the structure is pretty much the same. Then I put in those major events, as I mentioned, and then any work or PTO, so work is sort of like in the middle, and any to-dos that I have here. So let's say on Friday when I'm sitting down to plan, I include things that are part of my routine. So for example, on Tuesdays is trash day. I try to do laundry sometimes on Thursday, sometimes Wednesday or Thursday. Sometimes I do my fridge and my meal plan on Mondays, so that sort of thing. So you can start to lay out your weekly routine, and then when you get to the daily pages, that's when I go into a little bit more nitty-gritty. So one thing that I stopped including here was writing AM routine or a PM routine or PM habits. I stopped doing that because that is something that I include in my daily. That doesn't go here. And I also stopped writing like dinner time, because again, that's something that I put in my daily. So It's kind of high level here. On the left hand side, I started breaking it down into 2 sections. So items that are happening this week. So if I just wanted to know exactly what are the major events this week, I would just take a look at this side over here and just know, hey, oh, it's Thanksgiving week, or is my best friend's birthday week, or whatever it is. Then I also have another section here for next week because I want to start getting prepared for that, because some of the major events that are happening the following week, I may need to prepare for ahead of time. So obviously this one, it doesn't really take that much preparation, but if there was something else, I would want to know about it or be reminded about it earlier so that I could prepare. So that's pretty the general theme of this weekly planner. Then that brings us to my Petite planner system. This is sort of like my main go-to everyday sort of workhorse type of system. So I am using the Erin Condren Petite planner system with the Erin Condren folios, and these are interchangeable, so to speak, so you can change the folio, and I try to change them for the seasons. So I currently have this sort of metallic blue for January, or sort of like that wintry theme. So that's what I have here, and I have these little charms. Unfortunately, these little charms, like the initial ones, are not available anymore, but they are from Erin Condren. So I don't know if they'll bring them back, but I get questions on that too. Then I also have this sort of pocket folio plastic cover, which is made for the Petite system. I haven't seen it on the site. I don't know whether they'll bring these back again, but I do love the concept of these. But I'm still trying to figure out what exactly to do with this section. I created this dashboard with the January calendar, but I'm not sure if I'm really using it to its full potential. So I might just kind of keep some stickers, some of my go-to stickers every day. I might use that for that, or sticky notes. We'll see. And then I have in here my Petite planner book, and this is a quarterly book. So you can purchase 4 books, one per quarter. You can purchase them individually, or you can purchase the set. You do get a better deal with the set, so I did get the set. I have my 2023 budget book, and then I also have a meal planner. I was thinking of keeping a wellness planner in here to track my wellness journey, but I started to find that that's too much. So I'm gonna track my wellness journey in my goal setting planner, which I will show you in just a minute, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm gonna track my wellness there. I think it just makes a little bit more sense for me, because for example, on the wellness planner, there's a lot of space to track like your meals and all that. And I don't track my meals using that system. So I feel like a lot of it goes to waste. And there's other areas within the planner that gives you a lot of space to set up specific wellness goals, but those wellness goals I already have in my goal setting system. So I think some of that was a little bit duplicative for me. So I decided to forego that wellness planner. And then this is my meal planner, which I use not every single week, but I do use it here and there, maybe like every couple of weeks I do use it. I'm trying to get a little bit better at meal planning. I feel like I don't have a strong routine around that. This is probably one of my favorite meal planning pages that I've set up here when I had a little bit of time. But I'm trying to, get more consistent this year with meal planning, especially since I'm really focused on budgeting and our finances. So I want to make sure that I have a strong routine in place for meal planning. So I will, and I kind of switch up the layout a little bit here and there for my meal planner, depending on how I feel. And then in the back of the book is the other part of the plastic folio thing. And basically what I've done here is I've created my sort of planner routine cards. These are reference cards for me to just make sure that I cover everything, and depending on the frequency. So over here for daily, things that I want to look at is obviously my daily planner, my journaling and goals, updating my budget, take a look at my weekly planner, make any updates, any monthly updates, and update our family calendar. So that's sort of like my daily planner routine. On a weekly basis, I want to set up my weekly planner. I want to set up my daily planner, my meal planner, budget, weekly actions, and my weekly reflections. And then for monthly, that's a pretty big setup for me. So like our family calendar, our monthly view, the dashboard, weekly, daily, budget, my budget calendar, my meal planner, and my reflections, journaling, and goals. I know this seems like a lot, but some of these don't take that long at all. Sometimes it's just looking at it, make sure that it is updated and I'm good to go. But it's just a nice reference area for me just to know, hey, what is it that have I covered everything? All of my systems, have they been updated? And then I'm good to go. In terms of my daily layouts, this is where I go into a little bit more detail. Not everything that's in this planner is in my weekly planner, but everything that's in my weekly planner is in this planner. So I hope that makes sense. So I transfer things from my weekly into this one, and then anything new that's pertaining to the day, I pretty much added here. And I use it to kind of keep me on track for the day. And as I think of things, I might add them here as well, just to make sure that I am, taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of. So it's a little bit more specific. So things like dinner and dishes, I will include there. My AM habits, I will include there as well. Or if we have any sort of like last minute things that come up, obviously for the day, I'll just write them down. So it's sort of like my ongoing working planner for every single day. Next, we have my Moxie Life Planner. So this is my goal setting system as well as my journaling system. I will go over my goals for 2023 and all of that stuff in a separate video. This is just to let you know exactly how I'm using this one on a daily basis. And I'm sort of still working through some of these goals, so I'm not ready to share those just yet. But as soon as I do, I will share them with you. So basically what I do is I use the monthly pages on this planner to write down something that I'm thankful for or something that I want to remember from that day. And I use this spot to do some doodles. This is a practice that I was doing last year in my other Moxie Life from 2022. And I wasn't as consistent, but when I did the exercise of the 2022 reflections and I went back, I really liked seeing that. So I might not be enjoying it as much in that moment because maybe there's other things on my mind. Maybe I'm super busy, but I enjoy looking back on it. So I kind of remember like how much I'm going to enjoy looking back on this if I stay consistent. So that's going to be the monthly view. Then on the daily, not the daily, and I totally forgot that this planner started on December 26th, so I actually didn't do this week in this planner. And then on this layout, I have a horizontal layout, so I use these pages for my journaling. So every day, every morning, I sit down and I journal on the previous day, whatever I was feeling or anything like that. So that's how I plan to use this planner. This is how I've used it since 2022. So more to come on that. I will set it up a little bit more. I'm gonna have, a little bit more deco. I'm gonna print out, take pictures and things like that. And this is the area in these little boxes is where I do plan on keeping track of my nutrition and my workouts for my focus on my wellness goals. So that is the plan for this one, and I already have set aside some of the stickers that I'm going to be using for certain weeks. So these stickers are from Christian Designs, so these are all allocated to this week. So I'll take some time and I'll lay down these stickers here, that way when that week comes I am set and ready to go. So once I have it all set up with my goals and all of that stuff, my vision board, I've been kind of working on it a little by little, but obviously with the shop I've been pretty busy, but I'm going to set that up and I'm going to share it with you guys. Then lastly, this is one that came into the mix later on last year. I think I didn't start using it until December. And this is, and I sort of been using this one on and off. So this is a Date Designer, and I absolutely love the simplicity and straightforwardness of this planner. So basically it's for work. So what I was doing is most of my work stuff is digital. I either use Outlook or I use Microsoft OneNote for all of my work stuff, as well as we have like an electronic ticketing system. All of that stuff is in there, but I was keeping a separate notepad for everyday notes, and every time that I would do something, like I would write it down. And sometimes I found myself when I worked on something, for instance, I needed to follow up a couple days later. So instead of putting it on Outlook, which sometimes gets lost with all of the other meetings that I have, what I do is, let's say for instance, I have like an item that I need to follow up on in a couple of days. I'll just go ahead, as soon as I cross it off, I'll just go ahead to the specific day and I write it down into that specific day, just so that I know that I need to follow up on that. So for example, let me see. Yesterday, I was working on a few things, and I need to follow up on some of these things on Friday. So I already have it written down for Friday. So I can really plan ahead on this one. And as you can see, I don't really decorate this at all. I just use basically a little bit of highlighter, and it's just pen and paper for my work. And it's just a couple of things that I want to check on. Is nothing like major, and it's been pretty light with calls and meetings, obviously, because it's the beginning of the year. Everyone is still like sort of ramping up, and I think there's still a lot of vacation happening, but of course it's going to get a little bit more full. But this is essentially what my work planner looks like, and my monthly view, pretty straightforward. I don't really have much use for the monthly view, just only a couple of reminders that I want to work on. So there you guys have it. That is my 2023 planner stack. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below, or if you want to know any more information on these planners. And of course, as I do all of my planning videos, you'll see more details into them once, you know, I spend some more time on each specific planner. But this is the high-level overview. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. I appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I upload videos every single week. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, friends, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.